All right, Coach, let's talk about you're about a month away from season starting. Camp starts in under 2 weeks. What are your feelings right now? What, ready to get at it?
Yeah, I think every coach and every player right now is excited, and across the country, it's new beginnings on another year. And for us, I'm more excited just to kind of see who the new pieces are. We got quite a few guys returning, but at the same time, there's 30-something new guys coming in. Identifying some of them and who's going to step up, and what's year 3 going to be like for us.
You've taken a team that's gone from primarily freshmen and sophomores to now upper class led. What is that going to be able to do for you guys as an entire team coming into this year?
Well, I think it's going to help quite a bit, and having a bunch of juniors. I don't think we'll really see the benefits of it until next year. That our guys are now more identified by classification as leaders, and they're starting to take on that role. But the off season is really the vital part of winning in the fall. And so now that leadership, once we get through this year, that next year, I think we're going to see a lot more payoff of that big class. But it's nice to have those guys that a lot of them have played in 22 ball games, and there's not a lot of juniors that have that, in their back pocket.
Talk about your non-conference schedule. You start the year out at FCS, Texas Southern, and then the next week you guys hop on a charter flight and you fly halfway across the country to northern Michigan. What are those two games going to do to help set up the rest of the year for you?
Well, I think for one, they're going to identify, who some of our key players are. If there's any changes that need to be made within, starting 22, and before we get into conference play, those couple games we'll kind of highlight some of that and benchmark where we're at as we get ready to go into conference. Those are both going to be great tests for us.
You've talked all spring camp about how you want to see a quarterback come in and take over that position. What's your timeline for that? Are you just coming in wanting somebody to run away with it?
Yeah, I want somebody to win it, and commonly if you have more than one quarterback, it's usually not a great deal. You want to have one that's your guy. Now you want to have a great amount of talent that one gets hurt, somebody else goes in, or playing two is difficult at times, keeping a rhythm. I've always done it and had tremendous success with it. But I like to have one guy that's the starter, and I want that guy to win that job where it's not on me to decide, okay, I'm going to pick you. I want it to be, hey, it's clear, this guy's the guy.
You've come back, you've taken over offensive coordinator. What was it like for you this spring, and what can fans expect to see out of your offense? Any big changes, or is it going to stay primarily the same on offense?
Well, for me, it brought a lot more joy in coaching and being more involved. And I spent too much time riding that fence in practice as a head coach. If the offense made a big play, I'd be more upset that the defense didn't stop him, and if the defense made a big play, I'd be more upset that the offense didn't execute well enough. And I kind of always rode that fence. And getting into the offense and taking over has been more exciting for me, just as far as emotionally at practice, enjoying it more, enjoying the process of the practice and every day. And I think the kids are having a lot of fun. And what to expect in the fall. I don't know. I don't know what our guys are going to be yet. We got a good idea who some of our players are, and what's our offense going to be. But until we get into camp and we really get into that first game, that second game, we'll start figuring out what we can do really well offensively, and that will determine what our fans are going to see on Saturday.